Solver, as we talked about and Terry mentioned, is a cloud-based solution. So you see I'm running it in a modern web browser. Today I happen to be running it in Firefox. I can run it in Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge, whatever your browser of choice happens to be. And of course, it's got, as we mentioned, a data warehouse, full data warehouse, which is really awesome for bringing that disparate data together from all those, as well as you've got budgeting capability with full workflow capability built in, live reporting and archive reporting, and a way to publish all that out to your end users. I just wanted to start really quickly off by showing an example of a budget input template. This guy here, and the cool thing about it is that all the budget input templates are really built using the report writer. And by the way, the report writer in Solver is Excel, which is really awesome for we finance users that are used to leveraging Excel. So you build the reports and and like what you're looking at here, the budget input templates in Excel, publish them up to the cloud here, and then your folks can start leveraging them. And because it's based on Excel, you can pull in things like these charts and graphs and these different tables and adjust the rates. Here you can see I'm looking at some current fiscal actual years versus the forecast that I'm putting in here, and these areas in yellow are allowing me to pull in or input that data, and that could all be based on a workflow that I've assigned to my people. So let's just jump over to some example of some reports. So this is my archive area where I can push out or publish reports. And again, there's a built-in publisher to allow me to push those out in onesie-twosies or bundle them together to various and sundry groups of people. And if we look over here, they've got this kind of cool notion of playlists, think SoundCloud or Pandora or something like that. And the really nice thing about that is, for example, I've got my management presentation here. Maybe once a month I go through a board presentation or a management presentation. I've got these guys I've added to that playlist. I hit show playlist, makes it into a full screen presentation that I can start leveraging during the meeting. And down here, you'll notice I've got the various pop-up tabs, if you will, to all the reports that are bundled together in this presentation. And again, here's an example of profit and loss where we're pulling in some charts and graphs that are showing us things like our revenues and our profits, our profit margin, revenue per employee, but also showing us basically a P&L down below here where we've got our actual and variance, and we've got different indicators. We're looking at actual versus budget, and we've got conditional formatting going on here, as well as some heat mapping as we look across the report. And then we might move into something more like open orders, and that brings us to another point where if you've got a true corporate performance management solution like Solver, it's not just about financial reporting, it's also about operational reporting. So here I've got open orders, looking at a specific facility, I'm breaking it down by product, and I'm looking at different scenarios here, actual versus my product forecast, and looking at a variance. I can see quantity on hand, on customer orders, quantity available, my backlog, and then my quality percentage as well. Moving into kind of a work order management type of report, I see my customer and by facility here, by product, my work order numbers, my SKUs, release date, and got some information coming on in here telling me where things are in terms of work in process, if it's is it okay, the status-wise, are we short, is inventory short, what's my capacity status, and I can really, helps me really leverage and hone in on the areas or the fires I need to put out. And then on the more kind of edibles manufacturing side of the fence, or it could be maybe cartridge manufacturing as well, that type of thing. I'm breaking this out by facility, looking at standard versus actual costs and variances there. I've got some graphics going on in the middle here showing me my actual costs by facility, my actual quantity by facility, and then it's breaking it down into more specifics in terms of the material usage for my edibles down below. And then just finally to wrap this up, maybe we want to look at some yield variances as well. So here I'm looking at facility 100 and my actual versus standard yield, what's my cost per kilo, and my yield loss if there were some variations here. And another kind of cool thing here is that instead of looking at a report that's combining all my facilities, I told it in this case, this is an example of a report where, and I could do this with a financial report if I wanted to as well, a P&L or something like that. I told it to break it out into separate tabs down here by facility. So now I'm looking at facility 110, 120, 130, 140, and so on. And then I could have a separate tab that's just pulling it all together in one area.